today we're diving into biohacking. And
Well,
you guys sent us this fantastic interview with Gary Brecka from the Skinny Confidential YouTube channel.
yeah,
And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about this one.
me too.
This guy is like the biohacking rock star, right?
He is. He's like the godfather of biohacking.
Yeah, so let's just jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
See what we can learn.
He really, right off the bat, kind of throws down a challenge to the way that we think about health problems.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he almost reframes the whole thing.
Okay, how so?
Well, so he talks about all these different things like mood swings, gut issues, even postpartum depression.
Yeah,
He says that instead of looking at them like illnesses,
yeah.
we should be thinking about them in terms of nutrient deficiencies.
Interesting.
Like, what if we're not actually sick,
Hmm.
but just missing some key ingredients
Okay, I like that.
that our bodies need to function properly?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So then he goes into this really fascinating point about this MTHFR gene mutation. Okay, apparently it affects a huge percentage of the population.
Wow.
And it basically prevents your body from converting folic acid into methylfolate.
So what does that mean, like, practically speaking?
Well, you could be eating all the right things, taking your prenatals, doing everything by the book.
Right.
But if you have this MTHFR mutation,
Yeah.
your body might not actually be able to use that folate.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like, trying to build a house with bricks that just crumble as soon as you lay them.
Right, yeah.
You're not going to get very far.
No, not at all.
And here's the crazy part.
What?
The type of folate that's most commonly found in our food,
Yeah.
folic acid,
Okay.
it's actually totally useless
Oh, really?
until it's converted into methylfolate.
So we're kind of getting the wrong type of folate a lot of the time.
Exactly. And this is a really important point, especially for pregnant women,
Oh, right.
because Gary actually strongly suggests ditching those standard prenatal vitamins
Oh, okay.
and opting for ones with methylfolate instead.
Wow, so it's really about making sure you're getting the right kind.
Yeah, you want to make sure your baby's getting those essential building blocks right from the start.
Right. That makes total sense. Absolutely.
So we've talked about mood, we've talked about babies.
Right.
And now let's talk about guts.
Okay, let's do it.
Gary has this awesome way of describing the intestinal tract.
I'm intrigued.
He calls it a 30-foot conveyor belt.
A conveyor belt.
A conveyor belt. And like any conveyor belt, if something disrupts that flow,
Yeah.
you're going to have a problem.
Uh-oh.
And guess what one of the main culprits is for messing with that flow?
I bet I know.
Nutrient deficiencies.
Yeah, those pesky nutrient deficiency.
Exactly. He links that directly to things like bloating, gas, even IBS.
Wow, it's all connected.
But here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Remember that methylfolate deficiency we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out it can also affect serotonin production in the gut.
Wait, so you're telling me
Yeah.
that my gut health is directly impacting my mental well-being?
It's a two-way street.
Wow.
A happy gut can lead to a happy mind, and vice versa.
Okay, that's pretty profound.
So addressing these nutrient deficiencies could be the key to improving both.
That's a serious game changer.
Right.
Now, Gary doesn't shy away from controversy.
Oh no, he definitely doesn't.
He actually believes all the isolation measures during, recent pandemics
Uh-huh.
might have actually backfired on us.
Yeah, he makes a pretty strong argument for that.
Really?
He says that by limiting our exposure to everyday germs, we've actually weakened our immune systems overall.
Oh, so it's like our immune system got a little lazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wasn't being challenged enough.
Interesting.
And so then he points to things like the resurgence of viruses like Epstein-Barr and shingles as evidence for this.
Oh, wow.
He even goes so far as to suggest that what we call long COVID
Yeah.
might not actually be a lingering infection,
Really?
but rather a weakened immune system struggling to fight off viruses that were already there.
That's a pretty radical idea.
It is.
If he's right, what can we do about it?
Well, he recommends a pretty basic supplement stack
Okay.
to kind of give our immune system a boost.
Okay, what is that?
So he suggests a methylated multivitamin,
Okay,
some good quality fish oil or plant-based omega-3,
got it.
and then vitamin D3 with K2.
Okay, so basically give our bodies the tools they need to fight back.
Exactly.
Now let's talk thyroid, because Gary throws a little curveball here.
It does.
He says that most hypothyroidism
Uh-huh.
isn't actually caused by a faulty thyroid gland.
Right, that's a common misconception.
So explain that to me.
So he explains that most of the T3 hormone, which is what your thyroid needs to function correctly,
Right.
is actually converted from T4 outside of the thyroid, mainly in the liver.
So it's not the thyroid itself, but maybe the conversion process.
Exactly. And guess what often hinders that conversion?
Nutrient deficiencies.
You got it, nutrient deficiencies.
It always comes back to that.
It really does. So before you just resign yourself to a lifetime of thyroid meds,
Yeah.
it might be worth checking to see if you're missing some key nutrients.
That's a huge revelation, honestly.
right?
It makes you wonder how many people are being medicated
Yeah.
when a simple supplement could make all the difference.
Exactly. So he specifically mentioned selenium, thiamine, and niacin as being important for that T4 to T3 conversion.
Okay, good to know.
Now let's shift gears and talk about weight loss.
All right, let's do it.
Because Gary dives way deeper than just the, typical calories in, calories out mantra.
Oh, good.
He actually highlights 3 major culprits that make it tough to shed those pounds.
Okay, let's hear it.
So he talks about insulin resistance,
Okay.
estrogen dominance, and underfeeding.
Underfeeding, okay.
Yeah, so he's really pushing for a more holistic view of weight loss.
Yeah,
Understanding your hormones, your body's specific needs,
right.
rather than just like slashing calories.
Okay, I like that.
And he's a huge proponent of strength training.
Yeah, he is.
He believes it's key for boosting metabolism
Yeah.
because it builds muscle and helps your body use insulin more effectively.
Okay, I can get behind that.
But here's another curveball.
Oh, hit me.
Avoid those intense workouts on an empty stomach if you're trying to burn fat.
That's surprising.
Yeah, fuel your body with some protein and amino acids beforehand
Why is that?
because it helps protect the muscle mass.
Oh, okay, so you're not breaking down your muscles.
Exactly. And here's another interesting tidbit.
Okay.
Estrogen dominance can actually mess with weight loss
Really?
for both men and women.
Oh, wow.
It can lead to water retention.
Oh, so you could be doing everything right, but still not seeing results.
Exactly. It's just another reminder that hormones play a huge role in how our bodies function.
It's so complex.
It is.
And there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Absolutely not.
Now, Gary does acknowledge that GLP-1 medications are effective for weight loss,
He does.
but he's kind of cautious about relying on them solely.
Yeah, he's worried that people will just use them as a quick fix
Right.
without actually addressing those underlying dietary habits.
Yeah, the root of the problem.
Exactly. So he advocates for more of a sustainable approach.
Okay.
Combining those medications with whole foods, exercise, lifestyle changes.
Yeah, for long-term success.
Exactly.
I think that's a much better approach.
Definitely.
So we got to talk about Gary's morning routine
Oh, yes.
because this guy is dedicated.
He is. It's like next level biohacking.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So he starts with cold plunging
Okay.
to boost circulation and mental clarity.
Right.
Then it's on to red light therapy
Wow.
to reduce inflammation, improve energy levels.
That's intense.
And of course, no biohacker's morning is complete without breath work.
Right.
He specifically mentions the Wim Hof method for
Oh,
regulating stress and boosting energy.
I've heard of that.
He also makes sure to get some sunlight exposure first thing in the morning
Okay.
to get his circadian rhythm on point.
Let's see.
Then it's hydration,
Okay.
amino acids for muscle recovery.
Got it.
And finally, that well-deserved cup of coffee.
Okay, so before we jump into the next part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
what's resonating with you so far?
I mean, what's sparking your curiosity?
Yeah, what's challenging your beliefs about health and wellness?
Let's just pause here and let those thoughts simmer for a bit. I mean, it's fascinating how he kind of weaves together all these different aspects of health, right? It's not just
Yeah.
like these isolated tips.
Right.
He's really painting a picture of how our bodies work as this, interconnected system.
I'm really struck by how much emphasis he puts on those nutrient deficiencies.
Yeah.
It's like they're this hidden domino effect.
It is.
Setting off all these problems,
Right.
you might not even realize they're connected.
Yeah, it's like everything's related.
And the fact that something as simple as a methylated multivitamin
Right.
could potentially make such a difference,
Yeah.
especially for pregnant women. That's pretty amazing.
I know. It's huge.
It's like, let's give your body the basic building blocks it needs
Yeah.
and then see what happens.
Exactly.
So that leads us to his perspective on gut health,
Uh-huh.
which I found incredibly insightful.
Yeah, me too.
Who knew that our gut could have such a profound impact on our mood?
Right.
That whole conveyor belt analogy, so good.
I know.
It makes it so easy to visualize how disruptions to that flow can
Yeah.
throw everything off.
Yeah, if that conveyor belt gets jammed,
Yeah.
everything backs up. And then
Oh.
he connects it back to those specific nutrient deficiencies. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well, then
Ah.
that's why I'm having these mood swings or energy
Yeah.
crashes.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Wow. Powerful stuff.
So now his stance on isolation and weakened immunity,
Yeah.
that definitely sparks some debate.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I mean, it's a complex issue,
Right.
and there's certainly different viewpoints out there.
Absolutely.
But what I found compelling
Yeah.
was his argument about the importance of exposing our immune systems.
Yeah. A challenge. Like our immune systems need to exercise just like our muscles.
Exactly. If they're not being challenged regularly,
Yeah.
they're not going to be as strong
Right.
when those bigger threats come along.
So it's like we're getting too clean.
Kind of.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a balance.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's getting at.
So While his suggestions for a basic supplement stack are a good starting point, what's even more valuable, I think, is that underlying message. Like,
Okay.
let's proactively support our immune systems
Yes.
rather than waiting for them to break down.
I love that. Be proactive.
Now, let's talk about that thyroid bombshell.
Ooh, yeah.
So many people might be misdiagnosed
I know.
and put on medication
Yeah.
when a simple nutrient deficiency could be the problem.
It's wild, isn't it?
It really underscores the importance of understanding how these hormonal conversions work
Absolutely.
in our bodies.
It's not just treating the symptoms,
Right.
but actually looking for the root cause.
Okay, and his suggestion to consider targeted supplements,
Yeah.
selenium, thiamine, niacin, before jumping to medication.
Yeah.
That resonates with me.
Me too.
You know, it's about empowering ourselves
Absolutely.
to explore all the options
Yeah.
and work with our bodies, not against them.
It's a partnership.
Speaking of working with our bodies, let's dive into Gary's approach to weight loss.
Okay. Yeah.
Love how he goes beyond the simplistic calories in, calories out model
It really does.
and emphasizes the importance of strength training.
He's all about it.
He's a firm believer that building muscle is key
Yeah.
to boosting metabolism and improving insulin sensitivity,
Which can make a huge difference.
which is huge.
in how our bodies process energy.
And his advice to fuel our workouts with protein and amino acids
Yeah.
instead of exercising in a fasted state.
Mhm.
That's a total paradigm shift for a lot of people.
It is.
I think a lot of people are still stuck on that.
Yeah. Fasted cardio.
But it makes sense when you think about it.
It does.
We need to give our bodies the building blocks they need
Yep.
to maintain and build muscle mass.
If you're tearing down your muscles,
Yeah.
you're not going to see the results you want.
That point about estrogen dominance, also incredibly relevant.
It is.
It highlights the fact that hormones play a critical role
Oh, yeah.
in weight management.
Absolutely.
And it's not always as straightforward
Right.
as simply eating less and moving more.
It's so much more complex than that.
It's a reminder that we need to tune into our bodies
Yes.
and understand how these hormonal fluctuations might be affecting our individual journeys.
Absolutely.
Now, his perspective on GLP-1 medications is interesting.
Yeah.
He acknowledges their effectiveness,
He does.
but cautions against relying on them solely
Yeah, I think that's important.
without addressing the root causes.
Yeah, you got to get to the root of it.
It's a message we hear a lot in the biohacking world.
Yeah.
Use these tools strategically.
Right.
Don't neglect the foundational principles
Yeah.
of a healthy lifestyle.
It's about creating a sustainable approach.
Okay, so work with your body,
Right.
not against it.
Exactly.
Okay, so who's ready to talk about Gary's morning routine?
I am. Let's do it.
This guy does not mess around.
Oh, no.
It's like a masterclass in biohacking optimization.
It really is. He's taken it to the next level.
From cold plunging and red light therapy
Yeah.
to breath work and sunlight exposure.
Mhm.
It's clear that every element of his routine
Yeah.
is intentionally chosen
Yeah.
to maximize both his physical and mental performance.
All about optimization.
It's inspiring to see that level of dedication and the impact that these practices can have.
Absolutely.
So as we move into the final part of our deep dive, let's take a moment to reflect.
Okay.
What insights have resonated with you the most?
What new perspectives are you gaining about biohacking and your own health journey?
You know, it's almost like he's giving us permission to think outside the box when it comes to our health.
Yeah, to really question those assumptions and, take a more proactive approach.
Absolutely. Like, we have the power to make changes.
We really do.
Speaking of questioning assumptions, remember that MTHFR gene we talked about?
Yeah.
That really got me thinking.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, it's just one example of
Yeah.
how our individual genetics can influence our health.
It's the tip of the iceberg, really.
Right. There's a whole universe of genetic variation
Oh, yeah?
that can impact how our bodies process nutrients, hormones, everything.
And how we respond to different lifestyle factors.
Exactly. It's like everyone has their own unique instruction manual.
That's a great way to put it.
And that brings us to like the cutting edge of personalized medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine, in the future, getting hyper-specific recommendations based on your own genetic blueprint.
Like a customized roadmap to optimal health.
Exactly. Tailoring everything from your diet and supplements to your exercise routine and sleep patterns.
I mean, we're not quite there yet.
Right.
But even without that level of personalization,
Yeah,
Gary has given us a powerful toolkit
he really has.
to start biohacking our way to better health.
He's reminded us to prioritize nutrient-dense foods,
Yeah,
incorporate strength training, make sleep a non-negotiable,
absolutely.
manage stress through practices like breath work, even consider the impact of things like sunlight exposure.
It's a holistic approach
It really is.
that empowers us to move beyond just managing symptoms.
Right, and step into a proactive role in our own well-being.
Exactly.
So this deep dive has given us a lot to ponder, but more than that,
Yeah.
it's left us with a sense of possibility.
Oh, absolutely.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
here's a final thought for you.
Okay.
What's one small step you can take today,
Yeah.
inspired by Gary's insights, to start biohacking your way to a better you?
Maybe it's adding that methylated multivitamin to your routine.
Yeah,
Incorporating a few minutes of breath work into your day.
absolutely.
Or simply swiping out that processed snack for a nutrient-rich alternative.
Even small changes consistently applied can have a ripple effect over time.
They really can.
So go forth, experiment, and embrace the exciting journey of becoming the healthiest, most vibrant version of yourself.
That's what it's all about.